Okay, I'll get my hood off. This is Moshe in Israel, coming to you from the Galilee, where I've lived for many years, on the evening war update. Well, there really is no battles anymore because the ceasefire so far has held. This is the third day, and it has one more day to go. And Biden is trying to get them, using Egypt and Qatar, to extend it another day for more hostages. If that's going to work, we don't know. Netanyahu's remaining silent on that. He shut up about that we're going to keep continuing till Hamas is no more. I'm not hearing that anymore. But since it's a ceasefire, maybe he thinks it's not appropriate, which it wouldn't be. The Houthis grabbed another ship in the Red Sea area, captured it with the crew and the cargo, with some ties to a Israeli billionaire. That's 3 ships in 4 or 5 days, maybe 4 days. And Iran attacked the ship in the Indian Ocean, near the exit of the water by Iran, the Persian Gulf, which dumps out into that area, and attacked it with a drone. The ship's okay, it wasn't captured. So Biden really doesn't know what to do. Could he shut the Houthis down? Well, they're going to have tunnels and everything else. They're going to have missiles in civilian population centers. All the bad stuff that happened to Israel will happen to him in terms of killing civilians and stuff like that. To do an invasion, they have about 167 to 200,000 or so soldiers combined with the Yemen army, and Hezbollah is about 100,000, and the Yemen army's about 67,000, but it's with the extra help that the Houthis would bring in from other Muslim terrorist groups. It's probably a higher figure, maybe 200,000. America would need to, if they're going to go do a landing and really demolish them, it's going to be probably 25,000 troops with a lot of air support, planes, helicopters, missiles coming off the ships, and all of that. Bringing the ships into close range of the Houthis is going to cause them to shoot a lot of anti-ship missiles at them and other missiles, and it's going to be pretty bloody if they do it. This is the snare, and Biden, if he does not do it, the UN, he could go to the UN and try to raise a force of, I don't know, whatever, several thousand troops from different countries and do the invasion, and then it'll probably require 50 or 60 or 70,000 because they're not going to be coordinated, and they're not American troops with American equipment and American training, so it's going to be inferior. It's a problem for Biden. And, if you think Biden's up to it, that's your privilege to believe that. I don't think Biden's up to it. I don't know what he's going to do. He's not talking about it. Israel's not going to war over it because these ships are loosely connected to Israel. They're moving towards a blockade of the Red Sea, which leads into the Suez Canal. That's the direction they're going. Okay? What'll happen? I don't know. And pray about it. Pray the Lord shows us. We've got to see what Biden wants to do. He's still got to deal with Iran. Oh, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. So the hostages were freed today. I think we got 12 plus several foreigners, I think 4. I didn't hear anything about them having stones thrown at them when they were on the bus. Several, I think the foreign ones were turned over to Egypt, and the Israeli hostages were turned over to Israeli troops inside of Gaza, which was different than the prior 2 days. It's said that they tried to make a show of force by having a lot of Hamas soldiers with the masks over their head and, rifles and show up there. I believe the electricity is out in Gaza now. I don't think it's fuel shortage. It could be, but I doubt that. I think it's based on some malfunctions, which could be due to the combat. I do not know yet. So it was pretty dark over there. I've got videos of this on my Telegram site. It's a very cheerful thing to see these hostages come home. One of the hostages was in serious condition, an older woman. I think she was 84. And they had to get her on a helicopter and fly her into the hospital. I didn't get any indication if it was life-threatening, but serious generally means serious at least. They did not, because it's her medical privacy, they didn't tell us what's wrong with her. So I don't know what was wrong with her. I'm not sure. We'll find out probably. One of the women that got released said she didn't want to go. She wanted them to send another woman who was in much worse condition. And they didn't listen to her. So this alarms us in Israel because we're concerned that they just released the hostages that were in good condition, and there might be a lot that are in bad condition they don't want to let on yet. Or they're dead, and they don't have that many hostages. We don't know. They're supposed to have, I think, remaining 197 hostages, something like that. And we don't know their state. Now, Biden, I think, worked on the Red Cross, and within the next day, the Red Cross is going to visit and inspect the remaining hostages. That's what we're told. But, that doesn't mean it's going to happen because Biden said it. Hamas doesn't listen to Biden. So, if the longer Biden waits to take severe, heavy-duty military action against the Houthis, the more ships they're going to get grabbed. I think at this point today, now, enough ships have been grabbed in the Red Sea that I doubt there's going to be very many ships trying to pass through there. So it's going to have the effect of a weak partial blockade. What the international community is going to do is, in my opinion, nothing. Nothing. I don't think they'll do anything. If Biden rallies the troops, maybe he could get NATO and some of the European countries to put together a flotilla and float around in the Red Sea and keep an eye on things. But how reasonable is that? It's not. They can shoot anti-ship missiles at them. They could shoot long-range missiles at them. If they're close, they could use drones. Well, they could even use drones. And they use the helicopter to snatch one ship, and they could do that again. So, once they take 12 guys with guns and they land on a helicopter on a boat, and they take it over, or they rappel down on a rope, or whatever they're going to do, and then they go after they go in and they get the crew. They take over the boat, and then 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes later, a destroyer from America shows up and starts threatening them. They're just going to basically laugh at them. What are they going to do? Sink the ship, kill the crew? They know that nothing's going to happen. The Navy SEALs train for this type of thing where they board the ship, but these Houthis aren't going to let any Navy SEALs board the ship. They'll shoot at them. And, they probably will carry RPGs with them. so they could shoot at the other boats, and you're not going to do much to a destroyer with an RPG. But if it's an armor-piercing RPG, it could cause a lot of problems for the boat if it hits it. They're not going to be happy about it. But that's a very immature weapon to attack a modern, Arleigh Burke-class destroyer or something like that. So, putting ships in the area is going to be somewhat preventive, but they could just resort to other means of doing the blockades, so they're going to have to attack the Houthis. Israel's not doing anything of the sort. They're not going down there. So, the situation is, let me tell you, because the media is not giving it to you, it's extremely tense. Because if America starts up with the Houthis, then Iran's going to enter into it. The militias are going to attack American bases in Iraq and Syria and other places, probably like Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Oman, Saudi Arabia, probably even Jordan. And it'll be a real mess. And that could be hours away. America did position one of their small aircraft carriers with 2,500 Expeditionary Force Marines in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, which is about a 500-mile throw from where the Houthis are taking these ships captive, and that's less than 24-hour trek for an American warship. But, I don't know what they're going to do. Yemen doesn't have any air defenses, but Biden can't just get up in the morning and say, go blow the Houthis up in Yemen. He's got to get Congress involved, and, so maybe he's waiting for them to grab another 2, 3, 4 ships. Let's see what happens. And if he puts a flotilla of many nations of, 8 ships or 10 ships, it's going to cause trouble for the Houthis, but they're very insane, like Hamas, and they'll start attacking and attacking, The only thing they're really going to understand is if America starts doing clearing a beachhead and landing soldiers on the shores of the Houthis in Yemen, and then start, but they don't even have to. All they got to do is stage in Saudi Arabia, which the Saudis are going to say, yeah, sure, come on and have some falafel with us, Stage in Saudi Arabia and then shove into, do a ground invasion from Saudi Arabia into Yemen. And they may also try a beach landing, but why bother? They just go in with, 300, 500 tanks or whatever, and armored personnel carriers, armored Humvees, mobile artillery, towed artillery, rocket launchers on trucks, and 75 or 100 or 150 aircraft flying overhead with 50 or 60 helicopters running around. And how are the Houthis going to stop that? They can't. They don't have a Navy, they don't have an Air Force. They can't win. They can go in the tunnels and in their underground bunkers, which will be under civilian structures like Hamas did in Gaza, and cause tremendous problems for America with the human shields. So if you want to know why Biden is scared and doesn't know what to do, there you have it. And his first reaction has been so far to ignore it. I'm trying to work out diplomatically with the Houthis is pretty slim. Pretty slim. So there you have it. That's what's going on right now. It's pretty serious. And of course, Iran may attack more ships with drones. So I'll keep you posted. And that's what I got for right now. So send my shalom to all those above Yeshua HaMashiach. And please pray for me and my wife Rivka for peace, safety, protection, and joy. And peace at Jerusalem and pray that we don't have to go into bomb shelters, and pray for the animals and pets. They'd be happy, healthy, and whole. And that's it. I hope you got something out of this. I'm out.